Did you guys know we recently hit 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube? Well, we'd actually be at more like 6,000 if the 85% of you returning viewers actually hit the subscribe button. You scroll down just a little bit and there's going to be a subscribe button for you guys right here. You can even hit like on the video or share it with your friends too while you're down there. And our description box down below also has links to all of the different socials I have. And the best part is you can even leave a comment telling me how much you enjoyed the video, or didn't. I don't care, it's your life. Subscribing doesn't take anything but that 1 second of time, and it really helps make sure that you don't miss any of my uploads. So if you are enjoying watching all of my content, it helps you out, and it helps me out. Now that you've done that, let's get back to the video. What is going on, guys? Ninja Nick back with another round of Japan's Yokohama Champions League. We do have a Lugia deck. Is this colorless? Yes, it does look like it is colorless again. We see that Drapion V. We see that Snorlax in there as well. I think that this, and the Mew EX is in deck as well. I do think that this deck has a lot of merit to it going into this next format, and I would like to test it quite a bit more. I don't really have any experience playing the colorless Lugia version, but again, Single Strike is still probably better just because it has a higher damage output a lot earlier in the game. Whereas this one feels a little bit more techy, but also more consistent. So usually being techy makes your deck less consistent, but ends up working out specifically here. So we're going to get double double Archeops in the discard pile with an Ultra Ball. Seems pretty good to me. We're going to attach a double Turbo to our Lugia and pass, hoping that our opponent is not able to one-shot us on turn 1. Of course, if we were against maybe a Raikou start, we would try to play around that potential of being against Miraidon and getting one shot on turn 1. And it looks like we are a Gardevoir deck. So it looks like there is not only reversal energy, but also we have the Luxray that can attack, do 180. Oh, look, they didn't even bring it right up on the screen for me. Oh, I swear to God, this isn't scripted. This is the first time I'm watching this. The Luxray does 180 and 20 to itself for 3 energy. That's 1 lightning and double colorless. So with a reversal energy, can one-shot a Lugia V-Star. And it works very well with that reversal energy because it's fucking great. If this was on Twitch right now, if I was live streaming, I would tell you to clip it. Oh my God. All right. Anyway. I'm like at a loss for words. The Luxray Stage 2 allows you to bench it if you're behind on prizes, and the reversal energy only works on an evolved Pokemon if you're behind on prizes to turn into Triple Rainbow. So they both work under the same conditions. So it would be, if your opponent is able to take 1 prize card, you could always just punish by going bench Luxray, attach the reversal energy, and then knock out Arceus, or knock out Lugia. But not quite there. You would also need to find a way to move your Ralts out of the active spot to actually do that on this next turn. I don't think that that is possible, because normally in Gardevoir they don't play any switching cards, they just try to retreat. So the Luxray can't really be used on turn 2 like that. Can maybe be used on turn 3. You just bench Luxray, attach the reversal, and then hope. Hope and pray. Maybe that's a tech I should be trying, because I am struggling to beat Lugia with my Gardevoir. Maybe I should just play a 1 of Luxray in the deck to put together with the reversal energy. That's not the worst idea. But I already want to try to find room for Mew EX in the decks, and now you're just asking too much, right? I guess I could always cut Zacian. The usefulness of Zacian does continue to go down, but I still think you need it for Lost Box. And it looks like this is Mewtwo v Union Gardevoir. Oh man, I love Mewtwo v Union Gardevoir. It's so bad, but it's so good. It's very inconsistent. So the Mewtwo V-Union, if you guys don't know how V-Unions work, they are 4 separate cards that combine to make one Pokemon. When they are all in your discard pile, all 4 pieces, you can bench it. And that is once per game. I think per named V-Union. Because that way, say if your Mewtwo V-Union got knocked out, you can't like re-bench it again because all 4 pieces are in your discard pile. But if you were playing both like Greninja V-Union and Mewtwo V-Union, you could do each of those once each. I do think that's correct. And we do see the Mirage Step coming out, so even though all we had was 1 more Ralts in play, we are able to use the Kirlia to Mirage Step and get 3 Kirlia and bench another Ralts as well. So this is a pretty good start from Gardevoir, all things considered. And we will have to see if that Luxray does come into play. That would be really good to see from Gardevoir here. It does not work very well against the Snorlax, though. We are seeing the Therapy Energy go onto the Snorlax. Therapy Energy does make it so your Pokemon cannot be affected by special conditions. And Snorlax's attack does say do 180 and then fall asleep. And between turns, you have to flip 2 coins for sleep. I think, like, part of it's the ability, part of it's the... I think the attack puts you to sleep, and then the ability says you have to flip 2 coins for sleep, and they both have to be heads. But with Therapy Energy, you never fall asleep, so you never have to worry about having to flip 2 coins for it. We are going to go for the Fog Crystal here, finding another Psychic Energy. We are getting those Psychic Energies in our 151 set. You see that nice Galaxy Holofoil. I think it's 1 in every 4 packs on average is a Galaxy Holo of the basic energy, and honestly, I kind of want them. Of course, that is it looks like that is an older art of the energy, but we will be getting the Scarlet and Violet Silver Border energy in the Galaxy Holo. I do have a ton of like the old promo Holo ones, which are that art, but they're not Galaxy Holo. They are some of them are crosshatch, which is really or I think all of them are crosshatch. Crosshatch is still a really nice Holo too. But we see a refinement getting rid of the Gallade that does 60 damage for each Pokemon V your opponent has. So that is a tech against Arceus usually, being able to one-shot them if they have a few V Pokemon in play. It looks like we're also going to Ultra Ball away a Mew and the right leg of the Forbidden One. In order to find a different Gallade. Okay, so this isn't Gardevoir EX. This is Reversal Guardy. This makes a lot more sense now. So they are on 4 copies of Reversal Energy. And 1 copy of Gardevoir EX, most likely. So they are more than likely just relying on the power of the Reversal Energy to win all of their games. We do use this Gallade here, can attack for just 1 Reversal Energy, and can search your deck for a supporter card every turn. So imagine having the power of being able to search a supporter and to be able to discard draw 2 every turn with your Pokemon is absolutely phenomenal. But this deck is kind of a pile, in all honesty. So it's Reversal Guardy and it's Mewtwo V-Union. So Mewtwo V-Union Reversal Guardy? Is that like a thing? How does that work together? Because usually you want to use Gardevoir EX to load up your Mewtwo V-Union in order to win the game. And you usually don't want to put the Mewtwo V-Union in play until you are going to exactly win the game with it. It's always your last attack to, say, one-shot a big 2-prizer, or you use the, because it does like 300 for one of its attacks, and then another one of its attacks does 16 damage counter spread onto your opponent's Pokemon however you want. So you usually use that to clean up against the Lost Box, but if you ever put it out even 1 turn too early, that thing gives up 3 prize cards. I'm surprised it's not 4 because it's 4 individual cards to make it up, but it gives off 3 prizes just like a VMAX would. So you always have to be careful, and it only has 250 HP once you load it up with the Gardevoir EX. So the Lugia deck just sitting pretty here. We do have a Gift Energy on the 1 Archeops. as a way for it not only to retreat, but in case it gets boss KO'd, you can draw until you have 7 cards in your hand. Thus being able to get some extra stuff here. And it looks like we are searching for the 151 Ditto. I really hate the art on this card. It's just a bunch of mossy rocks and then just a Ditto in there. Whereas all of the other cards in the set have like pretty decent art. I don't like that. But if you were to like start that Pokemon, you can transform it into another. Straight from your deck. So it's a way to mitigate bad starts. Which is pretty cool. I don't really know if we've found a good use for that Pokemon just yet, though. But yeah, this Reversal Guardy looks like it is pretty far behind. We are going to research away Double Boss, as well as a Worker and a Path to the Peak. So, getting rid of pretty much all of your resources. Now you can bench that Luxray with a Reversal Energy, but at what cost? You're already 3 prize cards behind. You give up 2 prize cards just being Reversal Guardy, and you haven't really set up yet, so you're still losing to... Oh, you can attack with the Reversal here, and then the Gallade's attack actually moves an energy card attached to it to one of your bench Pokemon, so you attack for 160. So let's say you had this hand before you played a supporter, you boss up the Snorlax or the Archeops that has no energy on it, hit it for 160, and move the Reversal Energy to your benched Luxray. And it's a really cool interaction. But we are using the Gallade's ability to find Zinnia's Resolve. And it looks like we are going to shuffle back 1 boss and a research as well with this Pal Pad. And yeah, I don't see any way that this Gardevoir deck wins. I mean, again, you're 3 prize cards behind. What does Mewtwo V-Union do without having easy access to Gardevoir EX? I'm not even sure if this deck plays Rare Candy. I can't remember if it plays Rare Candy or not. But yeah, those Ralts are not evolved just yet. We have not super routed our Curlias back into the deck, so we're already down 2 Curlias. The third one is about to go down because it is underneath the Gallade. And all you've done so far is 160 damage to a 2-prize Pokemon. So you're going to 2-shot a 2-prize Pokemon after taking a 4-prize deficit. So you're still going to be behind 2 prizes if you do knock out the Lugia. And we are going to, it looks like, Jet Energy our Snorlax to force it into the active spot. So it will have 1 extra energy card. Gonna bench another Snorlax. We even have the Drapion in case the Gardevoir EX does actually ever come out. Because again, this deck probably does play 1 Gardevoir EX. So Drapion can hit that big boy or girl for weakness. Gardevoir can be either gender, just FYI. A lot of people don't know that. If they didn't play the video games. Even some that play the video games don't even know that. But it was introduced in Gen 3. It could be either gender. And only male Curlia can evolve into Gallade. But still, after that, they didn't like retcon it and make it so only females can evolve into Gardevoir. It's still either. So we are going to promote to the Luxray that will be able to attack for 180, but again, you would have rather gotten the 1-shot on the Lugia V-Star with it because of weakness, and then use the Gallades to attack the Snorlax. So again, 4 prize deficit here. What do you do? We've found the Professor's Research again off the top of the deck. It looks like that got shuffled into the deck and was the top card. We've got a ton of Psychic Energies in the discard pile. Still no Gardevoir EX. I haven't seen a Rare Candy, which, again, I'm not familiar with the entirety of the deck list, so I do not remember if they play Rare Candy or not. I want to say it's possible they don't. I think he found Gardevoir EX. I think there's an alt art in his hand. But the fact that they have not played any other cards yet, and they're still thinking, is leading me to believe that there is not a good way to play this turn. And yeah, at this point, even if you take 1 or 2 prizes with this Luxray, your opponent takes a prize on the next turn, and then another prize on the next turn after that. They have 3 attackers set up. You can't Mewtwo V-Union to Psy-Explosion to get rid of all of them, so... And this is another problem with specifically Mewtwo V-Union decks, is that you don't find the last Mewtwo V-Union piece until you've already decked yourself out. So sometimes you can't even discard it for refinement because you just don't have a deck. Or you've like run out of Ultra Ball. So it looks like there is 1 rare candy in the hand, so I'm not entire. I guess I was wrong about that. Maybe it plays like 2 rare candy or something. That would make sense. I know that some Gardevoir lists for a while were playing 2 rare candy, and that was definitely not correct. I think 3 rare candy is definitely the play in just the regular standard Gardevoir EX decks. We are going to evolve into yet another Curlia. We've managed to super rod those back into the deck. And it looks like we are not going to use that ability. Maybe there's too few cards left in the deck. We don't want to go for that just yet. Oh, and we've prized double Shining Arcana. I didn't even realize. Yeah, so that is a little bit of an issue. I mean, you still had both the Gallades, right? And you likely would have had 1 deck search before you discarded... Yeah, you had 1 deck search before you discarded the Fighting Gallade. Because you were able to Mirage Step. So at the very least, you had a deck search there. So I think if you're this player on the right, I mean, personally, I would just load up both the Archeopses with enough energy to attack. And then you have 4 Pokemon that can just take the game, basically. The Luxray has 150 HP. It does do 20 to itself. But I don't think that damage is going to be relevant. The Archeops cannot one-shot anything but the Curlias, so you will be needing Boss's Orders if you're going to use the Archeops in that way. You could bench the Drapion now. You know that they've already used 1 Super Rod and their Fighting Gallade is in the discard pile, so no reason not to do that. We're even going to put a Gift Energy on it as our attach for turn, so I like that because now you're threatening both the Gardevoir EX and the Mewtwo V-Union with that Drapion. And that would make your opponent need exactly the Mewtwo V-Union setup, Gardevoir EX, and Boss's Orders in order to knock it out. And then you still just 2-shot it with the Lugia and Snorlax and win the game. So, yeah, I think that no matter how you slice the way the rest of the game could go, I still think it's very favored for colorless Lugia. So it looks like we are going to flip a coin for our Capturing Aroma. Heads will be an evolution Pokemon, but it looks like it is tails, so we'll get a basic Pokemon that will be Luminion. Of course, that will allow us to Boss's Orders on this next turn to be able to take that last prize card if we need to. If we need to get around like a Gardevoir EX or something, or not Gardevoir EX, because... Oh, and we even have Mew V. We're going to bench that, use the ability Restart, which allows you to draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. We're going to draw 2, one of which being Capturing Aroma. We're going to use that. Fail to find after flipping tails, so either there's no more basic Pokemon left, or we just didn't want anything. And we're going to take the knockout there. And yeah, again, Gardevoir Gallade still has only taken 1 prize card and has to take 5 prize cards this turn or they lose. So even if they take 1 prize card, that allows them to that allows the opponent to bench Luminion to find Boss to win the game if they need Boss. So looks like we found the last Mewtwo V-Union piece. I do believe that that is number 4. Going to the discard pile. We got 2 cards left in deck, maybe. We have the Gardevoir EX. Yeah, so we could go for Mewtwo V-Union now. But at what cost? At what cost? Oh, we're gonna... Okay, so we're gonna evolve the active, then INO our opponent to 2 remaining card... Or, yeah, 1 remaining card. And then what? Because, again, I guess we could use Mewtwo V-Union and Psysplosion, a benched Pokemon, to take a knockout. Oh, no, there was still another Mewtwo V-Union piece left. We finally refinement to get that, and now we're super rodding just to have any cards left in deck. Looks like we are going to be shuffling back in some Psychic Energy, a Psychic Energy, also a Ralts. Is there another card that we even want here? Looks like a another Curlia, the Mirage Step one. Yeah, looks like we are assembling the 4 pieces of the Forbidden One here. Mewtwo V-Union, 310 HP is pretty big for a V-Union Pokemon. I was going to say basic Pokemon, but they're not basic Pokemon. They're V-Union stage Pokemon. So we are going to retreat our Gardevoir. We did put an additional energy that we didn't need onto it. Maybe we have an energy to attach in hand would be pretty good too. Yep, we do have the reversal. So now we are able to use Psysplosion. We're 1 energy short of using the 300 attack, but we can Psysplosion the active. Oh, and that won't set off the gift energy because it's not knocked out by damage from an attack. It's knocked out by damage counters. So gift energy does not activate. Looks like we've spread a little bit of extra whatever was remaining to the Drapion. And we have the energies in deck to load up the Drapion. Free retreat with the Mew allows us to one-shot this Mewtwo V-Union and actually win the game by having taken 8 prize cards against the 3 that this Mewtwo V-Union Gardevoir deck took. So, yeah, pretty unfortunate for the Gardevoir player, not being able to go fast enough. Basically just had a couple really awkward early turns where they just were not able to set up enough, which is crazy because they Mirage stepped. But as always, guys, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will see you all next time.